DeWine had several moves he needed lawmakers to make, and in a strong showing of unity, they returned this week and unanimously passed a bill making a lot of changes in state law related to the response to coronavirus, a bill DeWine quickly signed. Statehouse correspondent Andy Chow reports.
In sessions that were unusual in both how they looked and how fast they went, the Ohio Senate and House moved quickly on the sweeping legislative package to address a number of areas upended by the coronavirus pandemic, from K-12 education to unemployment compensation to elections. 29 of 33 senators were present and took seats far apart in the chamber, but in casual clothing at the encouragement of Senate leadership, because business attire isn't laundered as often. In the much more crowded House, 92 of 98 current members were seated throughout the chamber, in the gallery, and in different rooms in the Statehouse, but the dress code was maintained. Republican Senator Matt Dolan says most of the measures taken by the legislature are meant to be a quick fix.
When this crisis is over, the temporary law we are putting in today will suspend and we will return to permanent law.
The legislative package waives state standardized testing and state report cards for the 2019-2020 school year. Each district will decide if high school seniors can graduate if they were on track before schools were forced to close. It lifts restrictions on districts distributing school meals, and it freezes the Ed Choice Scholarship Program from expanding the number of eligible school districts. So the number of buildings where students are eligible for private school vouchers will remain at 517 and not soar to more than 1,200, which would have happened on April 1st if they didn't take action. Legislative leaders spoke to reporters afterward, again in unusual setups to keep their distance. Republican Senate President Larry Obhoff says the changes they've made creates legislative support for those already underway around the state.
We tried very hard to make sure that what ended up in the final version of this bill was specific to the coronavirus and the state's response to that and the needs created by that.
Other changes codified by the House and Senate include moving Ohio's tax day to July 15th, same as the new federal date. Authorities are prohibited from disconnecting water services, and it extends absentee voting by mail for the state's March 17th primary until April 28th. But lawmakers made it clear that the primary was held on March 17th, though the polls had been ordered closed. So, since the date wasn't moved, they did not need to reopen voter registration, something voter rights advocates had wanted. The Secretary of State's office was pushing for a longer window of time, as did the League of Women Voters of Ohio. They say there's a 4-step process now. Officials mail absentee ballot information, voters request an absentee ballot, voters receive an absentee ballot, then voters send that ballot back to the local Board of Elections. Jen Miller with the League of Women Voters says an April 28th deadline is not enough time to do all this by mail.
The longer the time frame, the more access we have. And so our suggestion of no earlier than mid-May is trying to respect those who have levies, but also providing as much time as we think is possible. Mid to late May is a compromise, and there's still going to be people who are disenfranchised in this process.
The legislative package also allows for criminal and civil trials to be delayed until July 30th and allows recent nursing graduates to temporarily practice medicine if they can't yet take their licensure exam. Republican House Speaker Larry Householder says they addressed many issues, but more action could soon be coming as shutdown orders are lifted and Ohioans assess the economic damage they've suffered.
A lot of them are going to return to work. Some of it might come slowly before they're back to work. So it's a situation where we're going to have to really get busy and make some decisions as far as trying to move forward with some type of a stimulus package.
And Householder said budget cuts are likely coming because the state will suffer a huge shortfall from the delay of tax day and the numbers of people already unemployed. Andy Chow, Statehouse News Bureau.